A man is standing in a repair shop, holding an estimate for $1,400. It's the third one this year, and he's about to say the 9 words that drain more wallets than almost any others. I've already put so much money into this car. 9 words that have already cost him $3,800. Let's call him Dan. He's a composite, 1,000 true stories wearing one face. And today we're going to follow his car from the day he bought it to the day he finally makes a clean decision about it. Because hiding inside that sentence is a trap that empties bank accounts through cars, courses, renovations, subscriptions, and businesses. Psychologists call it the sunk cost fallacy, and by the end of this story, you'll have the exact review Dan uses to escape it. A review you can run on your own money this week. Rewind 2 years. Dan buys the wagon used. Decent price, a little tired, nothing alarming. 6 months in comes the first repair. $800. Completely reasonable. Every used car needs something, and he knew that when he bought it. Month 11, the second repair. $900. This time, Dan hesitates. And then a new kind of reasoning appears in his head. I already put $800 into it. If I stop now, that money was wasted. Notice what just happened because it's the whole trap in one sentence. The first repair was an argument about the car. The second repair was an argument about the first repair. Money you've already spent that nothing can bring back is what economists call a sunk cost. The $800 is identical in both futures. Repair or don't repair, it's gone either way. Rationally, only future costs and future benefits should shape a decision. The economist Richard Thaler flagged this back in 1980 as one of the signature mistakes consumers make. We keep letting the past vote on decisions that only concern the future. So here's your first practical alarm, and you can install it today. Whenever you hear yourself say, "I already paid for it," that's not an argument. That's the trap announcing itself. But is this just one man's stubbornness, or is it wiring? In 1985, the psychologists Hal Arkes and Blumer ran the definitive test at a university theater. People buying season tickets were randomly given one of 3 prices: full price, a small discount, or a large discount. Same shows, same seats. The only difference was how much money was sunk. In the first half of the season, the full-price buyers attended significantly more performances than the discounted ones. Let that sink in. The shows didn't get better because you paid more. People were paying again, this time in evenings of their life, to justify money that was already gone. Their questionnaire studies pointed the same way. Offered 2 ski trips for the same weekend, a $100 trip to Michigan and a $50 trip to Wisconsin, they were told they would enjoy more. More than half chose the trip they'd enjoy less because it had cost more. The sunk amount steered the choice, not the experience ahead. So when Dan looks at that $900 estimate and feels the pull of the $800 behind it, he isn't weak. He's running the same wiring we all run. Back to the shop, year 2. The transmission goes. $1,400. The estimate from the beginning of our story. 2 smaller fixes later, Dan has $3,800 in this car, and every part of him wants to say yes again. Why is walking away so hard? 3 engines are running under the hood of this decision. The first engine is waste aversion. Abandoning something you paid for feels like wasting it. But look closely. The waste already happened, at the moment of purchase. Continuing doesn't undo it. It usually adds new waste, in time and fresh money, to hide the old waste. The second engine is the open account. Selling the car makes the loss real and final. As long as Dan keeps repairing, the account stays open and the loss stays unrealized. And losses tend to weigh more on us than comparable gains. The size of that gap varies from person to person and situation to situation. So closing the account hurts more than the arithmetic says it should. The third engine is self-justification. Quitting means admitting the earlier repairs were mistakes. The organizational psychologist Barry Staw showed this in 1976 with something he called escalation of commitment. People who had personally chosen a failing course of action poured more money into it than people who merely inherited it. Same project, same numbers, different egos. The extra money defends the decision maker, not the decision. As you listen to these three, notice which one runs loudest in you. And this scales all the way up. Britain and France kept pouring public money into the Concorde jet long after it was clearly uneconomic, which is why the pattern earned the nickname the Concorde Fallacy in 1976. Governments, corporate boards, and Dan in the repair shop. Same three engines. This time, though, Dan does something different. Before answering the mechanic, he sits down and runs one structured review. 4 steps. Watch them because this is the tool you're taking home. Step 1. The zero-based question. If I arrived fresh today, no history with this car, would I pay $1,400 to own it in this condition? Dan's honest answer is no, which means the only thing keeping this repair alive is the corpse of old money. Step 2. Count forward only. Dan writes 2 columns, future costs and future benefits, for repairing versus selling. The $3,800 appears in neither column. By definition, it can't. It's the same in both futures. What's left is stark. Repairing means $1,400 now, probably more later, and an unreliable car. Selling as is, and putting that $1,400 towards something dependable, means a car that starts. Step 3. Reframe the exit. Selling doesn't waste the $3,800. That money is gone in every version of this story. Selling rescues every dollar he was about to spend. The sunk cost was the tuition. Leaving is the graduation. Step 4. Pre-commit for next time. Before the next car, course, or renovation, Dan writes the exit rule down in advance. If repairs pass $1,500 in a year, I sell. Deciding your exit while you're calm beats deciding it while you're defending your own past. Dan sells the wagon. Not because quitting stopped hurting, because he finally decided with the future, not with the past. Dan's open account was a car. Yours might be different. A degree you no longer want, continued for the miles already walked. A business absorbing one more investment, and then one more. A losing position you're holding until it comes back. That one has a whole bias of its own attached. Or the quiet one, a yearly subscription renewed because last year was already paid. Most people can name their biggest open account instantly. That's the pit currently taking new money to protect old money. So run Dan's review on it this week. Ask the zero-based question. List only future costs and future benefits. And if the answer is leave, remember you're not wasting what you spent. You're rescuing what you were about to spend. The money you've already spent is gone in every possible future. But your brain hates waste, hates closing accounts at a loss, and hates admitting mistakes. So it keeps paying. Enforced evenings, endless repairs, and zombie renewals. The escape isn't willpower. It's a better question. Not how much have I put in, but what would I choose if I arrived fresh today? This video is not financial advice. Consult a professional for your situation. If this story just named something in your life, there are more practical ideas like this on the channel. One money trap, one tool at a time. Subscribe so your next open account gets closed sooner.